Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a great day. So, more than just a little bit has gone on over the past week, right? And there's more to come going forward. The CFTC has stolen a play out of the SEC's playbook, and they've gone after a couple of DAOs, and they've gone after a couple of founders of DAOs. And that has a ripple effect that's going through everywhere. It has founders of other DAOs as well as DAO organizations thinking, I don't know if we want to do this anymore. The problem with that is the reason why it's out of the playbook of the SEC is because they're cracking down without laying out the rules, a transparent set of rules. I would hate to think that this is what they're going to do, because that would mean that the world under the CFTC would be just as bad as it currently is under the SEC. So I'm hoping this was just a bad thing, and I'm hoping that, I mean, because when you look at why they're going after these specific DAOs, it's basically because, so the two founders of these DAOs, they said, you know what, we'll pay it without admitting guilt. But they paid their fines, settled. So those are the founders. The DAOs themselves are settling. And you sit there and you just kind of go, that's interesting. I'm hoping that the blatant mistakes of those DAOs and the founders are the reason why they went after those specific DAOs and the founders. So we'll see how that pans out. I'm hoping that that's what it is. It's just that they blatantly did something which, if you read everything and you do your own research, you can see, yeah, they kind of did. But it's something I'm definitely paying attention to, because that would just have an almost crippling effect, as we move forward. But I still have hope. I'm still holding hope. Something else I'm paying attention to is the future of Ripple and XRP. Again, last week had a conversation with my friend Nick, and we had a big conversation over Ripple and XRP. And I said, listen, I think XRP Ledger is a great technology, but XRP Ledger is owned by Ripple. And I think that once the court case is over, I think that Ripple's going to go public. In which case the play would be to invest in Ripple. And then when I look at XRP, the coin, I don't know if there's any value there. Yes, let that wash over you for a minute. If Ripple, the company who controls XRP Ledger, goes public, then is there really a coin play to be had? Right? I mean, you can still do a lot of things with XRP, but why? Right? It was never really meant for the masses. It was almost always really meant for, large organizations, financial institutions to be able to move money cross border in a more easy and secure fashion. So that's kind of what I look at. So I don't know. And if you look at XRP's rise, hitting their 50 cent line of resistance. I mean, they're hovering around there, right? They've been hovering around 48, 49, 50, 50 cents for a few days now. But my thing is that if that's what it's going to do, that's only rising on the hopes of the court case, possibly coming to a close soon, since they've asked for, a quick judgment. When I look at that, I kind of go, okay, great. Where's the utility of the coin? Where's the usefulness of the coin? Who's going to use the coin? Where is that? I used to have really big hopes, but then I realized Ripple is creating a huge separation between the underlying technology, which is XRP Ledger, and XRP the coin. With that huge separation, purposeful separation, they're saying, oh, we want to sell this to governments to do CBDCs. We want to leverage this technology to large organizations to do cross-border trading, blah, 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 blah. That's great. That's awesome. I'm not mad at that. But again, that leaves XRP doing what? So I don't know. Somebody asked me, Nick asked me, do I believe that XRP is going to hit, $1,000? I almost cracked up and fell off my chair. The answer is no. I just don't see it. Do I see if the case goes away, everything gets settled? I don't care if Ripple wins or loses, but the case goes away and they're off doing their own thing. I see Ripple going public. I see the stock doing well. I don't necessarily see the coin doing well. So the play could actually wind up being over there. So again, I'm paying attention to, yes, the court case could be coming to a close. Who knows? Who knows when they would get a judgment or anything else like that? We'll see. But that pop, that immediate pop, I think will drive it to, toward its all-time high. Will it maintain there? I don't know. I think the lawsuit has forced them to change business models, change their approach, unless their approach was always to go public, in which case, yeah, I think it would be short-lived. But I am paying attention to that. Something else I'm paying attention to is Coinbase having issues again. $350 million lawsuit being brought against them by Veritasium Capital. They hold a few patents that they say are being infringed upon by several Coinbase technologies. Coinbase Pay, Coinbase Wallet, all that stuff. It's all based on peer-to-peer, low trust, transfer of value. Wow. It hits on all of Coinbase's core technologies. Being that I'm old enough to know, you can tell by me not shaving, I'll be clean shaven tomorrow. But because my kids, they bitch when I don't shave, so I'll handle that. But it's reminiscent of back in the day. Merck Exchange sued eBay for patent infringement. Took years for this to actually come to a close, but it was finally determined that eBay indeed infringed on their patents. So what happened after that? eBay wound up buying all 3 patents that were involved in the lawsuit. Merck Exchange won, got some money. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm kind of saying to myself, oh, wow, it would be a very big deal if Coinbase had to go through the same thing. It really would. It really, really would. So I'm paying attention to that. Paying big attention to that because it's a big deal. It's a big deal that Veritasium, yes, they were investigated by the SEC, had to also settle, do all kinds of things, but they still hold patents. Just saying. So that's something I'm going to be paying attention to. And 350 mil is not a small number. Can Coinbase handle it? I'm pretty sure they can handle it without breaking a sweat. Still, 350 mil is not a small number. So that's something I will be paying attention to on a go-forward basis. Because wouldn't it be funny if Veritasium says, no, if the patents aren't for sale, you're going to have to pay us and you're going to have to license. That would be, I think, worst case scenario worst case scenario technically could be, no, you can't use our technology. Done. But I seriously doubt, that wouldn't happen. I think the best case scenario is that, Coinbase gets found that, yeah, they did it. And then after that, they either have to buy the patents if they're for sale or license the technology going forward and have to pay some money on the back end, from all the previous stuff they did. So that's kind of a big deal. Something else I've been paying attention to. I don't own HNT, and everybody that I knew that did own HNT has been out for a while, and that's Helium. So a lot of positive news has come out about Helium. Oh, they're going to drop their blockchain, and they're going to totally abandon their blockchain, they're going to move over to Solana, and they cut this partnership deal with T-Mobile. Well, Forbes has just released a major article that says there could be something that says the insiders controlled most of the coin. They had mined the coin before the 6 month after ICO or going public, right? So that means they controlled a greater portion of the coin, and only 30% of the coin was controlled by the public. So who stood to gain? The way that the article was written, I don't know if it is. I'm not saying it is, but it just looks like a really elaborate freaking Ponzi scheme. Except it's not a Ponzi scheme. They have real tech. They do have real tech. So I don't think it's a Ponzi scheme, but I definitely think it was a scheme for insiders, executives, employees, families, friends, to make a boatload of money and leave everybody else holding the bag. So, yes, we're going to promote all this good news while we were doing yeah. So, I don't know. Helium is a mess. Helium is a mess. If anything in that article is true, wow. That's not good. Like, not good at all. Something else that I'm paying attention to, and it kind of goes in line with what I was saying about JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon, right? Jamie Dimon likes blockchain, likes technology, likes the technologies. Great. Thinks crypto is a Ponzi scheme. So I like blockchain because I can put that to use for institutional investors and the wealthy. But crypto, coins and stuff, I think is a Ponzi scheme, and that's meant for the masses. Well, DBS Bank in Singapore. Singapore is almost like Jamie Dimon. They're like, yeah, it's great for, institutional stuff. But for the masses, you know what? We're not going to really allow you to place ads promoting crypto to the masses. All while DBS Bank launches a new DDEX system or platform that's geared toward institutional investors and the wealthy to be able to invest in Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and I think and XRP. But all of that is to institutional investors, or they're accredited investors. And credited means usually the number one thing is you've got enough money to sustain any kind of a negative impact. And when I say enough money, way back in the day when I was a kid, I worked at a hedge fund. Their minimum was you had to have at least a bare minimum of $1 million of disposable cash, and that still did not guarantee you being involved with that particular hedge fund. Wow. As I start looking out there across the world, I start thinking, are there any other steps being taken to keep crypto or to move crypto out of the hands of the masses, retail investors, and shift that over to institutional and wealthy investors? These are prime examples. Those are prime examples, and I think about it. In other big news, you had, Stitch wants me to throw his ball. So, Compute North is a major hosting provider to crypto mining companies. I mean, I'll read you off a quick list. We're talking about Marathon Digital, Hive Blockchain, Bit Digital, and more, right? Well, they have $500 million coming due to over 200 investors, or 200 creditors. Well, they voluntarily filed for bankruptcy. That's kind of a big deal. So it gives them time to restructure, as well as gives them time to let the market kind of pick back up so they can get back to making money. That's very interesting. It's very interesting to me. It's serious enough that Marathon Digital also released a statement saying, hey, that bankruptcy is not going to hinder our operations. That's how big it was. Marathon Digital is a publicly traded company. They had to come out with a statement based on that bankruptcy or bankruptcy filing. So each one of these things has the potential of having a hit now and then having a hit later. Those hits can be positive or negative. But those are the kinds of things I'm looking for. Other people are looking at, all kinds of analytics and metrics and everything else, and they're great at doing it. I'm not necessarily looking at the day-to-day. I'm closer to, a Warren Buffett, how he looks way out in the future. And I have a rolling chunk, span of time that I'm looking at. So yes, I am looking at near term, something that can hurt me now, but I'm really looking at midterm, long term, and way longer term effects. That's what I'm looking at, because the times that we're headed to now are, hasn't been seen. Recession and stagflation at the same time. For the crypto sphere itself, never been through anything like this. Other crypto winters have not been like this. In 2008, crypto sphere was not here. Okay? So the financial space, in terms of financial vehicles to invest in, this is a totally different situation. And it's iffy for a lot of people. And I'm thinking the odds keep increasing that the Fed, US Fed, is going to overshoot. That's going to have another effect. I'm hoping they pump the brakes before then and pay attention to lagging metrics. At least slow down so you can get those lagging metrics in so you can pay attention. Things are already changing. You have financial institutions going through layoffs. You have companies around the world that are already making adjustments for cost cutting, even in the Web3 space. What is it? $1.3 billion was raised in the past month for investment in crypto and Web3. And that's down. And I think it's the third month that those numbers have been down. Don't get me wrong. That's still a lot of money. But the numbers have been decreasing. So these are the things that I'm looking at. So right now, am I buying anything? No, I'm not buying anything. Am I selling anything? I sold a couple of things. I sold Stellar. I still use it to transfer, but I'm not holding. I sold some XRP. I'm holding like teensy weensy, but I didn't sell anything else. Say hello to Stitch. Hi, Stitchy. All right, where's your ball? Oh, you want this? Okay, get off. So you have a whole bunch of things that are going on right now that really can have a big impact. And as you know, on Sundays, I don't really show you numbers. There's no reason to. You can go look that up yourself. But I will call out Bitcoin being in the 1800s. I will call out Ethereum being under 1300. Right? Things are taking dives. Things are down. Matic is down at 74 cents. So I'm paying attention to what's down, but I'm not letting that affect my judgment right now. Right? Only if I want to get in right now. But I think things are going to go lower again. So I don't necessarily want to buy in right now. I'm not trying to catch falling daggers. I'm going to let things rock, as my kids would say. Just let it rock, and see what happens. All right. But that's my outlook for right now. Is what's going on in the near term. All that kind of stuff. So this is the kind of stuff that I'm looking for. This is how I'm doing my research this week. All right. This is Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and definitely hit the notification bell so you can keep up with me and my kids' journey as we continue investing in the Cryptoverse. Have a good one. Bye-bye.